Hey everyone, welcome back to LuxBiz. I'm Tatiana, and today I have Angie Chacon here, who is an Amazon rock star. She is a mom of 4, and she's built her Amazon FBA business up to $500,000 a month. And you heard that right, that's per month, that's not per year. So Angie, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you.
Let's share with the audience, kind of how you got started with Amazon. I think you started ASM4, which is actually the time that I got started as well. So awesome. Let's go back in time and kind of share your story.
Yeah, for sure. So it was a crazy time for me 3.5 years ago. And I was just going through a divorce after 26 years of marriage. So it was a huge change in my life. I found myself single with 4 kids, trying to support them as a single mom, kind of all on my own. And it was definitely rough. And I was looking for a new opportunity. I was having changes also as far as jobs went and things like that. I was working a 9-to-5 at the time, and it was not working for me. I needed more flexibility in my schedule. I needed to make more money. So I saw some friends that were doing Amazon. They were selling on Amazon physical products, and I was like, yeah, that looks kind of interesting. I liked that there was it seemed kind of unlimited as far as you could make as much money as you wanted to.
Right.
Basically, you just add products, and it's like, okay. And I liked that there was a freedom of time. I liked that you could kind of do the business from anywhere. You could travel. You could be anywhere on a laptop and do the online
it's very appealing
business. Yeah. So I needed to find out about it, and I signed up for the Amazing Selling Machine course. And
so your friends had taken that course?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so they had done the course, so obviously that helped to see that they had taken that course and it was working for them. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon, see what this is all about. And I had to scrape together the money for the course. I had no money. I was trying to figure this all out, but it was really good, and I had no real e-commerce experience. I had never sold anything on Amazon. I actually had never bought anything on Amazon.
Wow. So you really were starting from scratch, no experience.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's what I actually really appreciated about the course, is it was a real good gradient of understanding and some knowledge, and then go out and actually do these steps. And I was like, okay, and I did the steps, and sometimes I'd have questions, or I'd run into something, and there's the whole community, and I can go in there and ask questions, and how do I do this? And it's great because you actually have mentors, you have support, people interact with each other. So it was really, really good and really helpful. And I just followed it, and I found my first product, and I was a little eager and anxious, so I found a product. I'm like, yeah, this will be great. I know this is going to be great. And I put it out on Amazon, and kind of before I finished really the training. And so my first product wasn't a huge success. It was okay, but it wasn't making me the money that I thought. And I thought, I'm a failure at this, right? Then I went back, and my friend's like, no, go relook at the training because I think you picked your product wrong. And it was totally spot on as far as I did pick the wrong product. So I went back and changed the product that I actually added 3 more products after that, and they were all hits. It was perfect.
And just by following the Amazon training for the criteria for choosing a product.
Yeah, and that that's interesting because anybody can sell on Amazon, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's definitely little tips and tricks about what is the right product, and how do you tell, and how do you know, and that's what I got from the course, was a little extra little things on how do you pick the right product? How can you be successful? How do you get that in the rankings so that Amazon sends you traffic and you get sales? And that's what I learned through the course and through the community, and asking questions and seeing what other people are doing. It was extremely helpful.
Amazing. And so how long did it take you to actually start seeing profits? Because it's one thing when you have your product on Amazon, you're making sales, but you still have to spend money on PPC, you have to do maybe some giveaways, and so there's quite a few costs associated. So you're kind of reinvesting all of your money back in, and sometimes you're just not seeing those profits. So how long did that take for you to see?
Well, I basically, and it's funny because I got this information from somebody else that recommended, 6 months, maybe 8 months of just put all your profit back in, because of course you're going to sell more product and you're going to need to buy more product, but then you need to add more products. So I got my first one going, and then I got a few more. So in 6 months, I had about 5 products, and by then I had rolled all my profit back in to expand that. And I didn't actually have to borrow much money. I think I maybe had a $3,000 initial investment in some inventory in that whole process. Otherwise, I just did all that through the cash flow.
Reinvesting.
But by 6 months, I was actually making about $60,000 a month in gross sales at about 25-30% profit.
Wow.
So at that point, I was actually able to kind of quit my 9 to 5. I was able to financially support myself, and I had money to roll back into it. So that was where I kind of felt things turned, where now I actually had a business. I could quit my 9 to 5. I could do this now full time, and I was making money.
Yeah.
Like that I could actually take out now.
Yeah. And so now where are you at today? Because I understand you have more than 5-6 products. So, and you've built a brand. So maybe share a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. I have one brand. I have 40 products, and I'm actually in all of Europe. So I have 5 marketplaces in Europe, and of course the US and Canada. And I went from, that 3.5 years ago to actually within 2.5 years, I hit the 500,000 a month mark in sales.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was extreme. I mean, I never could have imagined that 2.5 years prior. It was not even, I just wanted to make enough money to not do my 9 to 5 job. That was my first goal.
That's usually everyone's initial goal, right? And then they realize, oh my goodness, there's so much potential here. And like you said, you have the ability to scale it relatively quickly. And I mean, you're a great example of that. I don't think I've seen anyone scale as fast as you actually. And with 4 kids. So let's talk about that. How did you actually find the time to do that? Because it's already time consuming to do this business if you have a full-time job. How did you manage your time?
I mean, part of it was sheer necessity, just like financially starting over, having nothing, having to support 4 kids. I was like, I need to somehow figure out financially how I'm going to do this. So, I mean, I cut anything out of my life that did not contribute. It wasn't exactly like on the focus of what I was doing. So anything that wasn't contributing, I didn't watch TV. I wasn't going out partying. I was, anything that I worked, and I kind of nose to the grindstone. I pretty much day and night as much as I could, learning more, staying connected with people that were doing successful in the business so I could ask questions, really just getting a product going, launching it, and getting my next product going and launching it, and getting my next product going. Like I just saw, as soon as I had a product and it was making a little bit of profit, I was like, well, if you duplicate that many times, you have that much more profit.
Right.
So, I mean, anytime I would go to search for a new product, I would search for the next 5 or 10 products, and I'd start making a list. And so when I was looking at getting the next bunch of products, I was kind of already thinking ahead in the future. Right. And creating the packaging or creating whatever, the labeling. And that kind of helped me, I think, go faster. Yeah. So it wasn't like I only focused on one product and that was it. It was done, and now starting over to find a whole new product. And it was always an ongoing process. And I even now I see how important that is on a regular basis. That has to be a routine of you have to have a plan of how many products you're going to be constantly launching. I mean, if you want to play the game big, obviously you can have a few products and replace your income, which is pretty easy. But if you want to build a multi-million-dollar company, then that's kind of the mindset. But it's all about mindset. It's scheduling, staying focused, because obviously you could get easily get dispersed. You should do this, you should do that, you should do this market, you should go over here. Yeah. So it's really focusing on what's priority.
That's really valuable. Yeah. And so now, where are you at today? I heard that you've started your manufacturing company. So that's an interesting twist on things. Not many Amazon sellers do that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually was debating that. It was about a year into selling, and I had another company manufacturing for me, and I had some issues with them, and I had some problems supplying. Actually, my top 5 products, they ran out of inventory, and I was running out of stock, and that is nothing you want to do on Amazon. You don't want to run out of stock, especially on your best sellers. And so that it really hurt my sales, and I was like, I don't ever want to be the effect of that happening again. So I was like, I'm just going to create my own manufacturing company. It's not something that everybody would do, but it's I did have some experience on that, in the past of manufacturing. And so it wasn't
That's awesome.
kind of an out there, wild, crazy, like there's no way I could do it. I just figured it out. I figured out how to do it. I consulted with people and went through all the documentation, got the building, got the machinery, got the staff, and then initially I just put it there for myself, just to manufacture for me. And but it's been growing. I love it. I love the game. I kind of like having the team. I kind of like going into an office and I have all these staff and we have staff things, and I like the group. Some people don't want that at all because they want to do this business and be completely independent and travel the world and not have an office or staff.
Yeah.
Really. But I don't know. I like it. It was sort of my thing. And I like the control factor.
Yeah. And so your manufacturing company is for beauty products, right?
Yeah.
So you specialize in that. And I know a lot of people who are maybe viewing this might say, oh, well, I want to get in the beauty category, but it's gated. So it's actually relatively simple to get ungated in that category, and it can be a very lucrative category to be in.
Yeah, I think because it's gated, like people shy away from it, but it's very easy, and I help people get ungated for it all the time that want me to help them manufacture. So it's pretty simple. I've done it. I've gotten some ungated in like 3 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, anyway.
That's awesome.
I can't guarantee that, but usually it's like a few hours or a few days.
Well, if you guys are interested in checking out Angie's manufacturing company, I'll have all the links that we talk about everything in the description below, because it might be perfect for you, a perfect match for you. And Angie, again, can help you get ungated in the beauty category, which is a huge plus. Now, Angie, let's talk about the struggles of having that Amazon business. I know, having 4 kids and all that is a struggle on its own, but any other struggles that you encountered along this journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say that, because it is not all like awesome all the time. It's not always easy. I've definitely run into any barrier you can run into on Amazon, and
you've encountered it all.
Just like any business, you have barriers, but any barrier that you could have run into with Amazon, I've run into all of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to like scare anybody with the stories, but it's like, you just know, okay, sometimes Amazon will take your product down. Sometimes Amazon might shut your whole account down. Sometimes, you'll have issues with bad reviews, and you just know that that's there, and you know how to kind of overcome them and what to do. And I've overcome them all. It's like,
that's what's important.
Scared now.
Yeah. That's why I asked this question, because it's inevitable that you're going to encounter some challenges along the way. Like, that just happens. And so if you have a mindset and positive mindset like Angie here, like, look how successful she is now because she was able to persevere. She didn't just give up the moment that there was a hiccup, right? And there are a lot of challenges, but I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's always a blessing in the end. And I know you worked really hard, you did the grind, and now, what we were talking about off camera is you've been traveling for the last year. So you worked really hard, but now you can enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, it's been really cool, and nothing I would have ever expected a few years ago. I thought I'll make enough money to help my kids and support them and do some stuff, but I never thought I could take a whole year and be traveling all year, or spend the amount of money I have been able to spend on just sending my kids to really nice schools and helping them, provide for them in ways that I never thought I could. And I've even done a lot of charitable work lately too. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I just love that I've been able to help, and I've been able to dedicate a lot more time also to helping others and being a mentor and a speaker. And I became a mentor for the Amazing Selling Machine.
You're giving back.
Yeah, and I love that too. Yeah. So, and I've had the time. I've had some freedom of time to do that.
Yeah.
Which I never would have thought. And the financial freedom and the time freedom, it's really amazing. Awesome.
That's so valuable, yeah. And one thing I was curious about, you have a big brand and you have 40 products. At what point did you decide to hire someone and have staff? Because I'm sure it would be very challenging for one person to manage all that on their own.
Yeah, definitely. There was a point where I think I had a few products, maybe, 3 or 4 months into it, where I realized, number one, I had to definitely put a lot of effort into self-motivating myself, because there's definitely a laziness. For me anyway. I'm at home, I'm doing my business from home, I just need to wake up and go sit on my couch with my laptop, where hiring somebody really helped just get over that. And it's like, okay, that person's going to be here at 9 o'clock, I'm up, I'm ready, and we're working, and I have someone to work with. And not only was it great because I could turn over a lot of the day-to-day activities like customer service and things like that, and she took that off my plate. I now all of a sudden realized I had this time. I'm like, what am I going to do at this time? It's like, I'm going to create the future of my business. So now I had a lot more time to focus on new products, how to improve what I already had, and it made a huge difference in me actually being able to scale to the next level. And actually, that was a huge part of my ability to scale fast.
Right. Yeah.
I hired her, and then once she was kind of doing stuff, and I kind of realized other things that I was running into, like, okay, if I could only give this to somebody else, and then I hired somebody else, and that task is off, and now I don't know, just keeping me freed up to be the creator.
Exactly. Work on the things that will add the most value to your business, outsource the things that anybody else could do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And one thing I'm also curious about is, you know, you have 40 products. That's a big number. So does the 80-20 rule apply where, you know, 80% of your revenue is coming from maybe 20% of the products?
Yeah, I definitely have a, you know, handful of them that are my key products.
Right.
And that's interesting because sometimes I might launch 5 products and I don't know which one of those is going to be my next key product. And but it's, I'll throw things out there and new products, and maybe 2 will stick and 1 will do great and 1 will be okay, and I'll end up having to get rid of a couple. It's just, I just keep going, and usually more do well than, you know, don't do well, just because I follow the criteria of picking a product. But
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Focus on those. I'm going to focus on my best sellers.
Yeah. And just one more question here, just before we wrap up. You know, do you have any pieces of advice or words of encouragement for our viewers? Because I know that, you know, this online business, Amazon selling, can attract a lot of skeptics, and people just believe it's too good to be true. You know, even they might not think that your story is, you know, they'd say, oh my gosh, $500,000 a month. How is that possible? And sometimes it's just out of the reality of where that person is at that moment. I know when I first started, I didn't believe that I could make $50,000 a month. I thought that was impossible.
Right.
And so do you have any kind of words of encouragement for people who might be in that place?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because when I first heard about it, I thought it was some MLM, some you know, just like some marketing scheme, that's totally what I thought. And I actually avoided it for probably 6 months.
Oh, really?
I could have got in ASM3 and I was like, no, this is some multi-level marketing thing. It's like, it's not real. And when I finally decided to really look into it, and then I saw people that were doing it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I realized, no, it's just a course. There's no commitment. There's no multi-level. There's no percentage of anything. It's like, oh, it's just a course. It's just you're learning the successful actions that these people have discovered on how to do this business. And, you know, you do it. You go in, you do it, you follow it. And yeah, maybe not everybody's going to do $500,000 a month. And I never thought I would do $500,000 a month. I was like, if I could just do $5,000 a month, I was happy at that point in time. And, you know, I hit that target. I mean, that was my first target of just doing it. And it was easy. And the thing is that there's a group. There's always a group. There's people there. There's so many people that are doing it and doing well with it that they're there, and you can talk to them, and they're real. And you come to these events, and they're real people, and they care, and they have such a heart and passion in having people be successful in business. And, you know, I hired one of my first hire. I hired this girl to be my assistant, and then she kind of became an office manager. And I gave her the opportunity. I'm like, here, study the course if you want to do it. And she's doing over $100,000 a month now.
Wow.
And she's ecstatic. She's about to buy her first house, her and her husband, and you know, she's been taking some time off, taking vacations. She's investing in, you know, her future and some life insurance. It's like stuff she never would have thought of. She worked a 9-to-5 job, you know, pretty low income, and this was only a couple of years ago.
Wow.
So it's like I've helped others to do that, and I've seen it, and it's funny because it shows to me how easy and simple this game is, especially when I see someone else real close to me, and they do it. And she didn't know anything about e-commerce. She never
That's
ran
what
a
I
business
love.
ever.
You don't need to have any business background. You don't need to be a marketing guru. You don't need to know just so many detailed things. You just need to take the course and just follow the step-by-step instructions. It's a blueprint. And once you figure it out, once you've gone through the course once, you replicate the process. And that's kind of what you did, right? And all the Amazon sellers here, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, awesome. It is. It's actually really easy.
Yeah.
You just focus and dedicate your time, and you follow it. You follow the course.
Yeah.
You get help, which is sitting right there for you. You come to an event.
Get inspired, get
Yeah,
motivated. Yeah, it's life-changing for sure.
It is one of the simplest business opportunities I've ever done.
Wow. Yeah, that's big.
And I really say that with like a lot of genuine, it's like definitely has been one of the easiest things I've ever done.
Yeah, that's
Which
amazing.
I love it. I love this. I love the group.
Yeah.
I can't express how great this has been.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Angie, thank you so much for being here. I know you are such an inspiration to me and you motivate me, and I know that you will do the same for some viewers. So,
Great.
Your story might inspire someone there to join the program, might inspire them to start their business, and they might have a success story based on just watching you. So thank you for being here and for adding so much value.
For sure. Thank you so much.
And thank you guys for watching. Again, Angie's Manufacturing Company will be linked down below, and anything else that you want to know about Amazon, the ASM course, everything is linked down below for you. So take advantage of that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and if you want to get started with your Amazon FBA business today, then I'm going to send you some free video training, just so you get a better understanding of how this whole process works, more of a step-by-step, in-depth guide, so that you can also enjoy this abundant internet lifestyle. So to gain access, all you got to do is go to luxhealth.com/onlinebiz, enter your name and your email address and subscribe, and immediately I'm going to send you your first training. But if you don't get that email right away, sometimes it goes to the spam folder. Sometimes you have to opt into the mailing list. So just be aware of that. And don't worry, I'm not going to spam you, but I will be sending you several emails over the course of several weeks, just because I don't want to bombard you with information, too much information at once. You're going to get into analysis paralysis. So look out for my emails, valuable content for you to get started on Amazon, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye guys.